Secret friends, unite!
Welcome to the Secret Friends Unite podcast, episode 117. This is your guide to the geek side. I'm Todd Oxter, your host, joined by Lisa Goodman, aka Lady Lovely Locks.
Oh, good. We're starting off with a good nickname, not one of the bad ones, since we have like 5 of those and one good one.
Hey.
Yes, that's me. That's me. I'm Lisa.
Also joined by Bobby Pauls, our lovable, huggable Nintendo guru.
How are you doing today, Todd?
Aw, you sound so sweet,
he's
Bobby.
so sweet.
Aw.
I'm always sweet. Listen, I'm getting to spend extra time with my best friend, Sean Capri. So,
That's me.
Yes, of course I would be excited and
I was
nice.
hoping he would say my name, but he didn't.
And we're also joined by a Secret Friends version. Hey everybody, it's a Shawnio Capri.
Aw, it's a me. I was really happy to be here until Bobby kicked me to the 4th billing, so that's fine. I don't mind.
Come on.
I probably, I would have been last anyways if you didn't come here but you had to go first. You always got to steal my thunder, Bobby.
Listen,
Why you always got to do this for me?
No.
I was here first. You just got here.
Okay.
I mean, come on.
No, we saved the best for last, Sean.
That's, you know what, Todd?
Good save, Todd.
Yeah.
Yep.
Apparently he has a lot of
He's
those
smooth tonight. Yeah, he's really
Holy.
full of lines tonight.
I'm
put on
getting
pants.
points before you take me down a peg.
Fair.
Just waiting for it.
Is that how that works?
But, we want to give a big shout out and a get well to Mark Carabin. He was supposed to join us. He came down with a case of,
Bird flu.
What is that thing you came up with, Lisa?
Swine flu?
No, the Jewish name.
Oh, Mandavoshkas.
There you go. So
He's got a
Mark,
case
look
of
it up.
Mandavoshkas.
Look it up, everybody, and then your Hebrew, Yiddish.
Not Hebrew. That would be Yiddish.
Oh, sorry, Yiddish.
Mandavoshkas.
That was
I'll
ignorant,
type it
Todd.
out later.
My goodness.
I
Yes!
can't say the literal translation even on this show.
And you won't have to. We leave everyone to Google and their Google
Cool.
devices. There you go.
Cool.
So this is an all E3 episode. This is basically, we've had time to let the news chill, relax. The excitement is over. Now we can just really get into the news, feel like, what we thought was great and what was garbage. But we, at this point, though, Sean, you are new. So what we always do when we have a new guest, we want your geek elevator pitch. How did you get into the world of geek?
I was born from my mother, and that was pretty much it. I was a geek no matter what. And I feel like one of the earliest things I can remember about when I was like, I always think about video games is my dad took me to watch the World Cup at some Italian family's house down the street, which they really only ever talked about soccer. And so we were hanging out in the basement. I had zero interest in watching the World Cup. We were just there. Everybody's talking Italian. I don't understand it anyways. But I spot an NES on the giant furniture piece that is the TV, and all I kept thinking was, man, are we ever going to turn off the soccer game so we could play some of that NES? Of course, no, but when you're a kid and you're that age, it makes sense that at some point somebody in this room is going to want to play Nintendo, but it never occurred. We actually never even had a Nintendo at our house, so I ended up having to go over to my neighbor's house every day so that I could play anything from NES all the way through 64. We didn't have a console till the Dreamcast days, Bobby. I ended up being originally more of a Sega kid.
That explains a lot, honestly.
Yeah, actually, you know what? It really does.
Yeah, it does.
I still have a Dreamcast.
Truly, before the Dreamcast, my nerddom really started with PC gaming. I learned how to not necessarily build a PC, but I learned how to put the pieces in, upgrade all of my video card. My sound card was actually probably the first thing that I ever installed. So I would say, after rambling for a little bit, Todd, thank you for this, that it really started when I bought my very first Sound Blaster, and I learned later that you actually had to buy speakers with that as well.
The PC speaker is not very good.
No, it's not, and it doesn't do you any good to have a good sound or a sound card at all. And the reason that we bought this was because we had a crappy Mortal Kombat port that we were playing on PC, keyboard, just I don't know how you play a fighting game with keyboards, but we wanted to hear Scorpion say "Get over here" so badly that my two brothers and I, the three of us, we saved up all our allowance so that we could buy the sound card, and then we realized we can't hear anything unless you buy speakers, and that was out of our budget. It's fitting because that's the life of a PC gamer. Everything is out of budget. You're never done. There's always something just out of reach.
God, I'm just learning that lesson now.
Lisa, how's your PC build going, Lisa?
I don't even want to talk about it. I'm a Mac girl, like through and through, because I'm a designer, but I got the bug up my butt to build my son his first gaming PC.
Nice.
I pretty much want to shoot myself.
You have to want to do it because you are your own tech support, and it's not.
Well,
fun.
no, it's not even that. It's that I had a specific budget, and how much you want to bet I've pretty much doubled that.
Yeah.
It's awful.
And it's far from done. 6 months from now, you'll be adding.
I haven't even started. I mean, I got the pieces. I just haven't put them together.
That's what you should tell everybody when they say, why would you buy an Xbox One X? Just buy a PC. It's so easy and it's so cheap.
That's right. It's that easy.
The internet knows it all.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway.
Awesome. Well, I just love hearing, everybody's origin story. It's always fun because, we talk about heroes all the time, and you guys are internet heroes. So we just want to share your story for everyone else.
Bobby.
Yes.
Giggling over this.
I'm just like, whatever.
Oh,
you
Bobby.
Listen,
You're just upset because it's been so long since you were a virgin.
this is true.
God.
Secret friends.
This
Sorry.
is true.
Is there such a thing as born again?
Yes. It can be, I guess, reconstruction.
So am I in yet?
You
We're
are.
not gonna have another shell
No.
conversation, are we?
We're keeping it PG-13.
All right.
Okay,
all right.
thank you.
Yeah. Okay, well, we got to kick off this show. But we do that by going to the Geek Easy, get ourselves a drink, put on some yacht rock, and geek out. Okay? You guys ready? And I edit this, so you guys don't have to worry about, if you say something stupid. I'm sure I'll take it out, right?
Yeah, you will. He won't. Uh-oh, we're gonna get cat bombed. Ready?
Uh-oh.
Here she comes. Here she comes. Hey, baby. My cat is sniffing my face. Hi. Say hi.
I'm just waiting for it to turn to the camera like it's that aware. Oh,
Say hi.
that's pretty close.
Luna.
Well, usually you get the brown eye with the cat.
Yeah,
Oh.
usually
Here we
she
go.
gives you. Yep. Usually she turns and does this. That's a good baby girl. She's
Well,
proud
I'll
of
be
the
saying what
junk
you
in her
will
trunk.
about me and whatever I do to bug you, but I
It's
never
done,
showed you
man.
my
It's
penis.
done. I will never complain about you again, Sean.
There you go.
It's over.
My podcasting with you has always been anus free.
Yes, this is true.
Always.
Thank you.
I bring the anus.
Oh,
The anus.
oh my god. Oh boy, this is. I'm keeping this in. And by the way, no, just kidding.
That's fine.
Okay, so I'll bring us back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're sitting at Geek Easy. Dan Fogelberg is playing Old Lang Syne, and we are gonna geek out.
Geek out!
There you go. Sean, right on cue.
Yes!
You're a professional. Oh my goodness. Well, Sean, since you're the newbie, what are you excited about this week? Doesn't have to be about gaming. Can be anything under the sun. Movies, video games, baby spit up, baby toys.
That is happening, but I don't know that I would say that I'm geeking. It's just so normal now that it's whatever. It's not anything to really get too crazy about. I will tell you that I am geeking out about these little Funko Pops that I got from the Megadads. I won a contest, and I got a little Nathan Drake guy here with his little tuck-in. Chelsea was asking me, what makes him Nathan Drake? And I'm like, well, obviously the handsomeness. He's clearly more handsome than every other Funko Pop. But also the subtle little shirt tuck in there. So I like that a lot. And I've got my little Ryu guy here, Bobby. If you didn't know, I like toys. And I'm also geeking out about the fact that I took these things out of the box. You'll notice behind me.
Yeah, don't do that.
Nope. Most are not taken out of the box. This is a major problem that I have. I am probably one day we'll see a psychiatrist about it, but I'm too busy buying toys. I can't afford to see a psychiatrist because I have a toy problem. So this is my major geek out, and I feel like it would be weird to not bring up E3. Obviously, that is still taking a lot of my attention, and I'm geeking out about ARMS today.
Me too.
Somehow I'm geeking out about paying $80 for a fighting game, and I'm not even a big fighting game fan, but I did that today, and I'm pumped about it.
80. These are 80 Canadian dollars,
These are
right?
Yeah,
80
Canadian,
real-
yeah.
These aren't real dollars. These are Canadian.
No, they're
We pay-
moose dollars.
Yes.
Moose dollars.
We have a moose
Moose
on the
money.
back.
Moose money.
That's like 40 toonies.
That's right.
And like, I don't know how to convert that to loonies.
Well, 80 loonies. A toonies too.
Whatever. Don't make me math. You know I'm not good at that.
You know, it sounds better when we say it, but when it feels just hurtful when we hear other people make fun of us. We can make fun of ourselves and it feels hilarious. But I'm like, hearing somebody else say toonie just sounds real dumb. What were we thinking? Like nobody else was going to hear the word? Like we thought it was just going to be a Canadian thing and nobody would hear it. Maybe that was it.
So you
I
like
just think of Tiny Toon Adventures.
Oh, that's true.
We're
Oh,
tiny,
now-
we're toony. Yeah. We're
Now
all
it's in-
little loony.
And everybody said, don't finish the song for them because now it'll just keep running in their head. Right, Bobby?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you live
That's
close enough to the Canadian border, you end up getting Canadian quarters, Canadian nickels, and you try to use them, and it's like, what? What? It's blasphemy.
Yep. That nickel's got a beaver on it. Big
Okay,
old-
I'm gonna let it slide. I'm gonna let it slide.
Dude,
Yes, we
I'll
will.
let it slide.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. And by the way, Sean, Tim Hortons is coming next month.
that is
Tim
hilarious.
Hortons everywhere here.
Well, Minnesota's late to the party. What can I say?
Behind the times.
That's probably
I
true.
love me some Timmy Hoes.
See, and I look at like Dunkin' Donuts as like a treat for me. I'm like, ooh, Dunkin'. And Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr. We don't really like. It's starting to come up here. That's my jam. Like,
We don't have it.
what do you mean you don't have Carl's Jr.?
Well, because
We
it's
have Hardee's.
See, it's like the
Yeah, Hardee's.
the
Those shit.
Mississippi divides the country. On the west side, you get Carl's Jr. On the east side, you get Hardee's.
You get Hardee's.
sure you're in America? Like, have you guys like lost territory recently? Are you sure you guys even know what's going on?
There's a division in this country, Sean.
Trump
Like, Canada.
Trump
Like,
pulled a
you gotta-
wall in the Mississippi and said, "You guys stay there, and you guys stay there."
Oh boy. Okay, Bobby. What are you
Yes.
excited about this week?
This is going to be a little self-promoting, I guess, but I started a new video series on my YouTube channel, and I am really loving it, loving everything about it. So it's called Nintendo Talk, and then each day I grab like 2 to 3 news topics and talk about it, and then kind of dissect it and explain what I like about it and such, or what I don't like about it, or break it down. But the videos are about 5 to 10 minutes long. But this week I started doing them, and the idea is to do them Monday through Friday. So I come home from work, I eat dinner, I record, I edit, and then I put them up, and I've been loving it, man. It's been so much fun. So that's what I'm excited about at the moment.
You are the hardest working man in media, Bobby.
Oh my God.
Now,
I'm
every
nuts.
day, you're
I can
talking
hear
to
the
all
excitement
these
in his
folks.
voice also.
Oh my goodness.
Nah, today's just a long day at work.
Get
I'm
fired
a little
up, Bobby.
You're,
tired.
you're,
I'm a little tired, man. Come on.
yeah, your wife's gonna have to make a podcast so she has time to talk to you.
Why we podcast to avoid people?
I don't,
Yeah,
not
for
me.
That would just be me.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep her out of it, Bobby. That's
Yes.
my time.
Yes, yes. But don't worry.
Uh,
Nothing's coming between us, Sean.
No. Like
Damn
I said,
right.
like
You
I
like
told
us
Sean,
leave you guys alone?
I said, Sean, you and Bobby are like a manwich, and Toby is the meat.
No, not even Toby coming. He's just. I don't know. He's the jam, maybe. I don't even know
Okay.
if we have meat in our sandwich.
Exactly.
Just
Oh,
gonna,
my
just gonna
goodness.
sit on that one.
Yeah, just let that go.
Mm-hmm.
And Lisa, what are you excited about this week?
Todd has no
Oh,
idea.
Lord. Lordy. What am I excited about? I'm excited about ARMS because it's coming.
Yeah.
It's on its way to me, so kind of excited.
Lisa, you weren't
Um,
excited about it though. What changed
Well,
your
I
tune?
wasn't. I'm excited because I'm not buying it for
Oh,
one.
that's good.
Just
yeah.
it's just coming from gameplay. Like I'm not spending my money on that thing. I don't know. What's not fun about fighting with a guy who has like 80s telephone cords for arms? That's what they look like, right? Those, if you're old like me, that's what our telephone
Actual
cords were
telephone
like when we were
cords. Mhm.
children.
That's true.
Yeah. My son was like, "Wait, phones had telephone cords?"
No way. Oh yeah, I guess so.
Yes,
oh,
yes.
he's like, "Really?"
Oh,
Like, I don't get it because I made a comment about that. He's like, "I don't get it." I was like, "Oh God."
Just wait until you talk
what
about
else?
rotary dialing. Oh my god.
I don't whatever. The other thing I'm super excited about because I really, really want them are the Stranger Things toys. Have you seen them?
Yes, the Funko. What is it? Reaction line.
They're very cool. 3.75-inch. I want them all. Just don't even put your Switch in my face right now.
How about I try? I'm going to try and play it like this.
Oh
I'm
my!
going to try and see if this is like, because it's totally backwards.
So don't even, because I will totally
How good is this
log
game?
mine in
Okay.
and play.
So
it.
Sean has
Yes.
got his Switch out. So I'm doing. So if you're listening to the podcast, if you're watching the video, you'll see this. But Sean is playing the Switch backwards.
It's really hard.
Playing arms, and I believe you are you. Oh, you.
I landed a grab.
You did a grab, yeah. Oh my goodness,
I'm sorry, I'm ruining this show.
this is exciting.
I want to see you beat Headlock
Oh,
backwards.
crap.
Can you do
No,
that?
this is Ninjaro. And
yeah.
I'm actually like guiding it. Okay, that's enough of that.
Oh my goodness, yes. So
Todd
yeah,
would prefer that you play
I'd
as
get a
Quintel
win-win
if you're
against
going to be
him.
backwards.
yeah. So this is like that type of series, Lisa. This is the alien reaction. They're
Yes,
like
I know.
little
Don't
3
don't
3/4
mansplain it
size.
to me.
Oh no,
Don't
I was showing these
mansplain it
guys.
to me.
Showing these guys. No.
Okay, I'll
It's
cover my
informing.
eyes.
Yeah.
But yes, I want the Stranger Things toys. They look really fun to me. So I need them. I also just pre-ordered all my amiibos. Did everybody else do that?
I have a birthday coming up, so I'm in that awkward time where I probably could, but I also don't want to ruin things for Chelsea, because if I buy, we have like a rule generally before Christmas. It's basically like around Black Friday where we're not allowed to buy things for ourselves because we don't want to ruin it for the other person to buy things for them. So I'm in that zone for my birthday right now. So I put out a really heavy hint yesterday just to say, like, here's a link, Nin Mobile News. Like, you need to go here. Here's everything you need to know. I don't have any of these amiibo, and even though they're not releasing the ARMS amiibo yet, Bobby, I want all. You know what? Actually, can we talk about this, Todd?
Yes. This is the
Speaking
point
of
what we're
amiibo.
geeking out about. Yeah.
I think I might. And I might upset some people here. I might be boycotting the Champions, the Breath of the Wild Champions line.
You need to stop. There's no reason for you to boycott
There's a
them.
good reason,
He's
and
just
there's
being
none.
salty.
the
there's
reason
none.
Salty.
going right up Garuda's Yoo-hoo.
So what?
It doesn't have to go up her Yoo-hoo.
You don't even know where it's going.
Well, if I buy it, I guess I could find out. But
There
I
you
have
go. So you buy it and you find out for sure.
Okay, it's going either her Yoo-hoo or her Poo-hoo, and neither are good.
I've
Stop
never
it.
heard those words for
Yeah.
female anatomy.
It's Canadian, Lisa.
That's what.
Yoo-hoo is chocolate milk.
That's what.
That's right. That's why.
That's what
So
Canadian.
shouldn't the poo-hoo be the yoo-hoo?
Well,
Mhm.
was it milk, lemonade? This
Don't
is-
even go there.
Oh,
Stop now.
all have
This
one.
show.
They all have a stupid plastic little stand. Like,
And they're-
there's no reason for it.
And they're
Would you
clear now,
stop
not
it?
yellow like the pea stick. With
they're
the-
fine.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Fine. I don't like
The
it.
detail on these characters are amazing. Would you stop it?
Salty.
Yeah. Relax.
All these
Who's salty?
flavors, and you
Who's
gotta
salty?
be
You're salty.
Am I salty?
Yeah. Very.
Apparently, they don't understand salty in Canada.
Oh my goodness.
No.
No, I thought they actually were really cool, but yeah, those stands are just so odd. I wish they could get away from that.
So,
It's
Todd,
also-
you want to
it's
guess
also
which ones I
perfect.
pre-ordered?
So you said all of them. I'm assuming you got all of them.
I didn't. No, I didn't order all. Are
Oh.
you insane? Do I look like I won the lottery?
The only ones that I didn't order was Goomba and Koopa. But I'll
I
get
didn't order
to
those either.
later.
How come?
I just think because I figured it'd be easy to get. And I didn't
Mm.
feel like adding another.
Saving them for
They
the
should've made
yoo-hoo and
Goomba
poo-hoo.
super rare. Like, just for no reason, like just the most common enemy in video games.
He probably will be super rare.
Yep.
But I got out all the rest of them.
I still don't have the damn Guardian.
Oh, I've got the Guardian.
GameStop had them up
Ew.
first GameStop had them for sale today.
Yeah, I saw it.
So did
20
Best Buy.
bucks. Yeah, and they had the I believe they
Why
had
did nobody
Zelda.
tell
They
me?
had Zelda as well.
I'm telling you now,
Okay.
go get it.
Yeah.
Open up your phone, go to GameStop, pre-order, done.
Oh my.
That's what Sean does on our podcast. He just orders crap all day.
No, Bobby does it. Okay, so this was the actual thing where we were arguing, and then he stopped listening to me to go pre-order. I think it was the Switch.
Yeah,
And he-
yeah.
And finished and started saying things that were contradictory to what I just told him, and to demonstrate he wasn't listening. And I got mad. We almost got a divorce. It was awful.
Yeah, but come on, it was an important moment. I was pre-ordering the Switch.
Yeah, just tell me you're not listening to me. Just say I'll be right back.
Well, it was
But it's
pretty obvious.
Uh-huh.
It was
Uh-huh.
pretty obvious.
You lie because it's not on here.
You know how
On
Tony must
GameStop
feel.
or Best Buy?
What did you just
said
tell me? You said
Bobby.
GameStop.
Yeah.
I think it's both of them had it today.
Oh,
Well, today is very ambiguous. That could have been hours ago.
It was hours ago, but it's still there.
Oh!
Yes, this is
Lisa's very excited.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
You're welcome.
Is it happening?
Oh,
Is it
are you gonna-
happening?
Put them all in the basket.
Oh my goodness.
One
So
moment,
this is
please.
exciting. Should we play some background music?
Oh, mother!
Gone?
Pardon my language.
Gone? No?
Put it in my cart, and I just got the good old error message. This item is no longer
Oh,
available.
no.
So, Bobby,
on.
I hate you.
Where else? That was only one place though. That was only GameStop.
Okay.
I hate you.
From now on,
Bobby,
you guys.
Bobby lifted me up and dropped me.
I didn't do anything. GameStop did it. Not
And
me.
I'm usually the one that will tell you, Lisa, when stuff is available, and I guess it's my fail. You can blame me. Unlike normal.
Sure.
What you need to do, Lisa, is you need to go on Twitter. You need to follow Nin Mobile News.
Doing
But
that
not
right
just follow them, get alerts by them. Because,
now. I use Now in Stock also.
no. You don't use Now in
Thank you,
Stock.
Sean.
In.
Nin
Thank you,
Mobile
Sean.
News. That dude is amazing.
Well,
We've got theme music now.
Don't ask me why, but I've got this 9-minute loop.
That's awesome.
Okay.
If you heard my phone ringer, you'd laugh.
You'd love it. Yeah. So I actually pre-ordered the Metroid bundle because they're cool.
Me too.
I like them. I think they're neat. It's unique. They're fun.
And one of them is squishy.
Yay, squishy. I didn't know that. But I guess the World of Nintendo's toy Metroid is also squishy. So,
Mm-hmm.
if you need another one,
Just-
there you
Who
go.
doesn't like a
Mhm.
squishy amiibo?
Huh.
That's what all women look for.
Well, that's right. That's right.
I ordered the wedding ones. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, God. Those are going to be
Yeah,
wedding
that's-
toppers. Those are going to be wedding
Not
toppers
for me.
from now on.
Not for me.
I got them because
Well,
I'm a
We
That's
fan.
my
had Mario and Peach toys as wedding toppers, and Chelsea made like this custom veil and like a custom little
Aw.
bouquet. But like these would have been perfect. We looked everywhere for Mario and Peach toys, and then like 6 months later, Amiibo were a thing.
Sean, if you're married
And then 2 years later,
and you're still married, you'll eventually get remarried or renewal of vows or whatever they call it. You'll get to use them.
Yeah, we'll renew our vowels.
That's
It'll be
right.
A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y.
That's true.
Again.
Oh.
That's awful.
Oh my goodness. And
Lisa's just like,
and
get
Lisa,
me
you
out of
thought
here.
you thought Charlie and I were bad. Now you got these two.
No, I don't think you're bad.
Oh.
Just Charlie.
Okay. That's true. We love
It's
you,
my
Charlie.
job in life. It's my job in life when Charlie's not here to troll him. So
That's true. Yes.
and then he yells at me.
Yeah, we need something to get him to listen to about video games anyway.
I
so-
get to have coffee with Charlie and his darling wife tomorrow morning.
Oh, you should be geeking out about that.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll contain myself.
Well, we've gone off on a tangent here. Very quickly, what I'm geeking about,
Bad.
I bought myself a late birthday present. My dear mother gave me an Amazon gift card. I bought a Transformers Masterpiece Sound Blaster.
Nice.
If you guys have not seen these before, these are ridiculously awesome toys. They are basically like the way the toy should look like based on the animated series versus the crappy versions you got from
They're
the,
super awesome.
G1.
Yeah.
They're awesome. And it comes with laser beak. You can put him in his chest. It's awesome. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. It's kind of my highlight.
Bobby, be happy for him. Don't give him that
I'm
look.
smiling. I'm not saying
No,
They
I was just
transform,
smudging.
Bobby. They're
if
more than
the
meets
looks
the
could
eye.
judge.
Ugh.
Get off my
What the
lawn,
heck?
Bobby.
I'm just thinking, who the hell likes GoBots, man? Jesus.
This isn't leader one, mother effer. I have to behave my son's over there. So he's got virgin ears.
Oh, mother
Oh,
efforts
boy.
way better. He'll have
That's
no
true.
idea.
He'll never use it
He'll
around
be
his
running
son.
around school going, you mother effer.
Yeah, oh well. That is it for the Geek Easy. It's time to tip your waiter, move on. It's time for the Thunderdome, where we talk about E3 surprises, disappointments. Okay, you guys ready?
Sure.
I think so.
Okay.
I had to go back and fix all my predictions, Todd.
Lisa, I wasn't your secretary. I wasn't dictating everything you said.
You put
so-
that I predicted Nintendo was going to make a cats game.
because you said everything cats, right? And isn't that what we agreed? You predicted everything
Okay,
cats?
but I didn't say it in seriousness.
Oh well. I
I
have to
hate
do
you.
something.
Don't talk to me.
Okay.
Grab my shit.
I always am. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're in the Thunderdome, and we're talking about E3. We've had time to absorb all of the goodness that is E3. We are now going to go through our predictions and also our surprises and disappointments. And Bobby, since you didn't give me any, we're just going to assume you were completely wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't have to assume. He was on my show, the
yeah.
Gamercast, doing predictions. He took it so seriously, Todd. You don't have no idea. He had
Oh,
charts.
I listened to them all. Oh my goodness.
You know what? You need to stop. You need to stay in your lane over there, Mr. Mario
my
Kart
lane.
Maker. Like,
Yeah.
seriously?
We
Relax.
both scored the same. I think I had a lot of fun with it. I had so much fun with it, Bobby.
I had fun with it too. I like to get
What's
it.
one I think I gave to you? Anyway, I'm sorry, Todd. I interrupted. I'm just
That's
I took it. I saw a shot and I took it.
You guys are going to go in separate corners. So wait, you're on your separate countries.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
nothing.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, this is-
I know.
No F-bombs yet.
So overall, though, I just want to get everybody's feel for like E3 as a whole this year. You know, I mean, we had some highs, we had some lows, but you know, we had a console, kind of a console launch. You know, Nintendo just launched theirs. Sony's kind of, you know, firing on all cylinders right now. What did you guys think? You know, was it a good year or a bad year for E3?
I think now that we're a few days removed from it, I'm feeling way better. And I feel like as gamers, we all are aging, we're getting grumpy in our old age, and we tire pretty quickly. I think in the middle of it, I think we're all just a little tired, Todd. And so like things that should impress us, like really weren't. And now that it's Friday, it's the weekend, I'm feeling like pretty good, and my barometer is always based on how much my wallet is hurting after E3. And right now, like my wallet is not, it's living in fear. I don't know about you guys, but like I don't know how I'm going to afford any of this stuff / put any of this stuff. So I think that's like for me personally, I think that it's a pretty good E3. I can understand that some people are a little down on it, but let's be honest, this may be one of the most honest E3s that we've gotten in a long time. A lot of the things that make previous years very exciting, a lot of those things haven't even happened yet. And I don't want to retread some of that territory, but I really feel like this is the most like grounded Sony has been. I think Nintendo they could have gone in a lot of different places, but we're looking in the near future. I think the Xbox One X, I'm on the excited side of that story. So again, I don't know how I'm going to afford all this stuff. So I think it was overall pretty good E3.
Lisa.
Good.
You can sell an organ. That's one way.
That's true.
That's true. I got 2 lungs.
You can always have more children.
And sell them?
Yes.
Or you get like a tax rebate from the Canadian government. Yeah.
Why not?
I'll just compare how much money I'm saving on like not paying for healthcare to you guys and be like, look, I'm rich. It's amazing.
God. Just wait till
Just
they
rub
go to
it in.
daycare.
Just
Oh,
rub
my
it
goodness.
in. Yeah, just wait.
Listen, he's paying for it. He's just paying.
Hey, all
for
your
it.
children need braces.
Now you know why his games are $80.
That's true. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
And
I
then
need to pay for our healthcare.
and just imagine the hockey equipment you got to pay for. Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness.
That's the thing. Chelsea thinks hockey is in the future, but I never played hockey. I'm not like my parents put me into soccer. The community league gave me everything I need except for the cleats. Bobby, what did you think of E3?
Bobby's
He's not listening.
headphones
He's
are
just-
off.
Now he's not listening to me.
Oh, he's got a phone call. Sorry. He's got a phone call. So, Lisa,
Oh.
what do you think of E3?
Excuse me, Mr. Bobby is super important. What did I think? You know what the coolest thing was for me, which is not totally related to E3, but is having my son be old enough to want to watch everything with me.
Yes.
You know, I have 2 sons. My older son, who is 14, and a total geek like his mama, was like totally into it. And I think this is the first year we truly planned out our schedule and sat down and watched everything together, which was awesome.
That is awesome.
You know, he was most excited for Nintendo because he's such a huge Nintendo kid, but it was really cool. And, you know, I wouldn't say that anything was terribly surprising, but I thought the energy and everything was great. And I thought Nintendo had such a fun year, like, you know, especially again through the eyes of my kid who was like practically bouncing off the walls. I mean, it's fun. I want to throw my Mario hat on everything. Everything.
Are you guys pissed off that the UK is getting a Mario hat with pre-ordering
That's
Odyssey?
nothing new. That's nothing new. UK always gets good stuff.
Yes, I'm pissed off.
The hat,
They're getting
Like
the
they're
hat.
getting, they're
with
getting
the
the hat
eyeballs.
with the yeah.
and that's a good thing.
Cap-
Yes.
Like that's what people want.
Jealous. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, at Target, what do you usually get? Like with the Rubik's Cube Mario, you get like a
Which is lame. Or
shot
air
glass, I
fresheners.
don't
They had air fresheners.
Yeah, I got the air
They
fresheners
did.
and the keychains this year.
Oh my god.
They had air fresheners,
Oh.
keychains, and the Rubik's Cube. And the Rubik's Cube, there's like piles of them sitting at my Target.
Oh, I know. Yeah, my son took his
Oh.
apart. I don't know why. Kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bobby, what do you think about E3 overall?
I felt like Sony was holding stuff back for PSX. I felt like Nintendo was holding stuff back for their next Nintendo Direct in a couple weeks, and I just feel like Microsoft came strong, but that kind of got overshadowed by the mixed messaging and the ill-advised wording of the word exclusive. So I didn't
Launch
feel
exclusive.
Yeah. So I felt like there are things that excited me about it, but I kind of felt like a little melancholy. I felt like ultimately for me, I felt Ubisoft won E3, which is weird to say, but I felt like they had the broadest paintbrush, to hit all the consoles, and it seemed like they had the surprises there as well as the stuff the games that people were mocking leading in, Mario, Rabbids, everybody loves now. So it's just, I felt like Ubi did a really good job. I felt like Nintendo, like I said, I think they held stuff back. Me and Sean were talking about this earlier this week when Best Buy Canada leaked 2 games. They leaked Smash and they leaked Pikmin World. I feel like those games weren't leaked mistakenly.
There was a third. I just can't
to it.
remember. I stopped. I sort of got
Smash,
through the
right?
list, and I'm like, there was
Smash
Pikmin,
Deluxe.
and there's something else.
I only
don't
saw
remember what it
Smash.
was.
Because I went back and looked later. So I saw Pikmin World and Smash Deluxe, and I feel like they weren't mistakes. I feel like Nintendo, that Direct was originally supposed to be 30 minutes long. My gut feels like Nintendo pulled that stuff out and is going to put it in a Direct in a couple of weeks or a month or something. Like, I don't know.
Like they didn't want to blow their load at E3.
Yeah, I mean, compared to what they did last year, this was gigantic. This is ginormous. And the other thing that was kind of puzzling to me was like, I don't understand the whole reasoning to separate 3DS and Switch. Like, there was so much good stuff that came out during Treehouse Live, and it was like, man, you could have just held some of that back. Like, you didn't have to show the amiibo. There were certain things they could have kept, like that Metroid game. Why was that kept out? That doesn't.
You know
make any
why,
sense.
Bobby, I'll tell you why. Because
Why?
we've had 3DS on some of these Nintendo Directs lately, and what do people say? Why are you showing me 3DS stuff?
Yeah.
Get rid of the 3DS stuff.
Yeah.
So they got rid of it, and now it turns out that people actually want it because that Metroid game looks amazing.
Yes. And we will
Like,
get
this is
into
actually going to be a great year for 3DS.
That Metroid game looks phenomenal. It really does. I want that game so bad. And it's funny because up to that point, I was like, I'm not opening my 3DS. The only game that's going to get me to open my 3DS is Chicken Wiggle, and now it's like Metroid.
Chicken Wiggle?
Chicken Wiggle.
Jules Washam.
Yes. It's a fun little game where you've got a worm and a chicken, and they kind of do stuff together.
It's like Banjo-Kazooie,
Yeah.
2D side scrolling,
In 8
and you can
levels.
Yeah.
and you can build levels and share them, and it's got a whole leaderboard thing going with it and stuff. It's going to be a really good game.
You might not play that on your 3DS. You might not be open that up again, Bobby, but you'll play it on your 2DS.
That's right.
That's true
Oh
too.
my god.
Yeah, I know you will.
2DS.
Not 2DS. It's like a door stopper.
Exactly. Spoilers. My nephew is getting one, so I got
There you go.
Kirby Triple Deluxe to play with it because Kirby is Kirby.
Kirby is Joe.
What month is that coming out in July?
The new 2DS XL.
Yeah, I think so,
Yeah,
right?
it's July.
End
Yep,
of July?
Yeah,
So
it's-
July is going to be number 1 selling console, Nintendo Switch, number 2, Nintendo 2DS, and then number 3 or 4, who cares after that?
Yeah.
Top 2 consoles. Wait for it, everybody. You heard it here first. Prediction.
As Charlie would say, hot take.
Hot
Hot
take. Okay. Well, we're getting into third party. We'll kick off there because I kind of grouped them all together. A lot of the third parties, we had EA kicked it off. Then we had Bethesda. We had Devolver Digital. Holy cow! Did anybody watch the Devolver Digital?
Yes.
conference?
That was
The new standard.
That was like
that was a
that was like a I'm trying to what's that cartoon with it's the Adult Swim cartoon, not Sid and Morty. It's
Morty.
Rick and Morty. So it was like a Rick and Morty episode.
Did you just
brought
say
to life.
Sid and Morty?
I am my brain's not there, Lisa. You know that.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Rick and Morty. It was like a Rick and Morty cartoon brought to life, where there was like limbs being blown off. It was weird and crazy. Yeah, very strange.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody should go back and watch it because
it's well worth it.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was very odd. It was like a skit that they turned into some weird breaking the fourth wall. Very strange. Oh well.
Yeah.
Definitely check that out. But third party. First, we're going to just tick through the predictions, see who got these right and wrong. Bobby, once again, you're wrong. So
Yeah.
we're just going.
Oh,
through this.
jeez.
Yeah. So Lisa, you predicted Garfield versus Odie.
No, to be fair, I did
What
not.
the hell?
Todd just feels the need to troll me. But you know what, Todd? Here's the funny comeuppance to that. I didn't predict anything third party. So Todd decided to write me a prediction, which is that I supposedly predicted a Garfield versus Odie game. What's funny is they just released Garfield Go.
Yes, they did.
So I didn't predict it, but I don't think anybody in their right mind
Goodness.
would Garfield Go.
What do you find like? What do you like? Hate Mondays and you find lasagna.
I have no idea. Trust
beat
me, I
up
will not
Odie,
find
you
I
hate
will not be
Normal.
finding out.
John comes over.
Normal.
Normal! Come on, normal.
Oh
What
my
about
god.
Pookie? What about
Pookie.
Pookie?
Oh, of course, Pookie.
What was was there like a farm thing related to
Yes.
Garfield? What was that? And there's the chicken.
John's family. No, U.S. Acres.
Oh yes, I always wanted to see the little chick in the egg, and they tricked you a couple times, but they never showed you.
Never happened. Yes.
Just like Bobby.
Oh.
Who left us just now?
Bobby, why'd you leave us, man? He got tired
That's
of
all right.
us. Oh boy.
He's upset that I was
Oh, he's offline.
saying mean things
Oh,
about Garfield
We'll
Go.
get him back on. He'll come back eventually. Bobby can't deny us.
They always do, right?
Exactly.
That's true.
Yeah. So Mark predicted brand new Ubisoft IP for Switch, not including Rabbids X Mario, so he's wrong. Expecting something more mature, at least borderline. Think Red Steel, Zombie U-esque age range. Sean, you said Shadow.
We'll give Mark a little credit there because there is a new Ubisoft IP and it is coming for Switch, but I don't think that's what he meant. But that Starlight or Starflight,
Oh, that's true.
the Toys to
That's
Life
true.
thing.
Yeah, Toys to Life. That actually looks. I mean, the game looked actually pretty good. I just don't want to buy
Yep.
more toys.
Yeah, that's the tough thing. It just seems like there's a great meme going around of like Lego Dimensions, Disney Infinity, everybody's running away from Toys to Life, and Ubisoft is just like running in full force. So yeah, it's just the Switch was the controller that it first showed up. So I mean, partial points to Mark, I think.
Yeah.
Because my prediction was a bit of a troll here.
Well, and that is Shadow of the Tomb Raider will be a timed exclusive on PS4. Folks will generally be fine with it.
Yep, that's all right when Sony does it.
Yeah. So, do you think maybe they'll
That
show
didn't
the
happen.
PSX? Maybe.
I don't know. I honestly wonder what's going to happen with that game. Like, I feel like a lot of people are really intrigued with like, does it show up on a particular stage? Like, does anybody end up with marketing rights for it? I mean, I was talking to Paul Harris from Xbox Canada, and he was saying that there is some indication that the timed exclusivity helps games. Obviously we know that it makes them happen, but it gives them a little bit of a spotlight. Now that doesn't really hold true when you talk about the last Tomb Raider game, because we all know how well that sold. But there must be some data that's showing that these brief launch exclusives are working in some way to tick off some boxes for Xbox. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the next Tomb Raider game specifically, because I just think that series is so great, but it's so muddled by what happened with the last title. So I think they need almost like a clean start. They almost need to be able to launch it on their own, independently of the platforms. But we all know that's not going to happen.
No, I love that series to death. It's fantastic. It's really awesome. Would probably I need to go back to the DLC because I heard that's pretty good as well. Should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For myself, I said Rocksteady would be on stage with Sony announcing a new DC game, but nowhere to be seen.
What about your other prediction that My Little Pony Friendship is Magic would be the best game that came out at E3?
You know, I do like myself some ponies. And by the way, my favorite pony is Cheese Sandwich because he's voiced by Weird Al.
Nice.
There's really a pony named Cheese Sandwich? I thought
He
you made
is.
that up.
No. I put the picture I put in the chat. That's actually his figure. He shoots a cannon. It's very odd. Very odd. Oh well. So, guys, what was your biggest surprise from third party, and what really is like, man, I wish. Why did they do that, or why didn't they do that?
Garfield Go. No, I'm kidding.
But Lisa, no surprises, no excitement.
No alarms and no surprises.
Oh wow, okay, Sean.
I was pretty surprised by Metroid. I think I was actually predicting that it wasn't going to happen, and mainly because. I'm sorry, I just blanked out for a second there.
Your biggest surprise.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
Sorry, well, I guess I was surprised. I don't know if this counts as third party, but I was surprised that Nintendo opened Ubisoft's conference and that it seems like everybody really enjoyed the reveal of the Rabbids game.
Yeah.
And that to see everybody kind of flip on that, I think it was probably the biggest surprise because it seemed like the internet's mind was made up on it.
Yeah.
Even though the amiibos are terrifying.
They are kind of
well, they're figurines, right? Like I was glad to hear that too, that they're not actually amiibo.
Yeah.
They're just toys that you can buy. So I will be.
Okay, good.
That's it. That makes it way easier to not buy them.
Yeah, it's not like
Yeah,
the Skylanders fake amiibo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, I don't think that they look. Chelsea thought that they looked great, but
Ugh.
What came
Yeah.
first, Minions or Rabbids? Do we know?
Rabbids.
I feel like it would have been Rabbids as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up. I'll
Because
be
they were
the
on the Wii. The Wii
podcast
was, like,
researcher.
Yeah, there we go. Look it up, Lisa.
Because Despicable Me came after the Wii, right?
Yes, it did.
So
Yeah.
we knew that there was a Rabbids game back in 2006 or 2007. So
Yeah, that's a strange turn. Ubisoft, you're very French Canadian.
hell yeah.
There we go. Montreal in its best. For me, my biggest surprise was Beyond Good and Evil, too. I mean,
Oh, nice.
I didn't expect that. And, we talk about moments at E3. And Michel Ancel comes up, and the dude is in tears. And I know there's been rumors the fact that the reason they brought all the developers on stage at Ubisoft is because they might be potentially bought out and taken over by Vivendi.
Mhm.
So they're very worried about that, because that could change the way they operate and the games they choose to make. So, but Michel Ancel, this has been a passion project for him for years. This game is 13 years since I think it was 2003 when it was Beyond Good and Evil 1 came out, and for that, I mean, for him to be able to still make this game, and when they revealed it, it was so different than the original one. The original one was very family friendly, strong female protagonist with a weird pig uncle, and I just loved it. It was wacky, it was weird. Yet it was like your standard third-person action-adventure game, but you took pictures, you had vehicle combat, and a really kind of a fun, unique story with really unique characters. And now we've got this one where we've got this weird monkey, we've got this lady, and they're dropping F-bombs everywhere. But it looks cool. But it looks really cool. I'm really excited. I know where that game's going to go, and I don't even know how far along that game is because they have this weird Space Monkey campaign where they want you to join so you can help make the game. So I don't know if I'm going to become a developer on the side to help Ubisoft. I don't know, Sean. I don't know.
As a fan of the first one, see, like I missed it, and Chelsea was a fan, but even like she didn't recognize it. So I was curious, like, did anybody really know until the title screen came up, or was that a surprise for you too?
The only thing that kind of gave it away was that pig at the very beginning. He looked like her Uncle Paige.
But at the time, like when they open with that, they got the big long scene. Are you like, this is good? Like, do you even have a clue?
I kind of did, just because I've been wanting it, and there was rumors that this was going to be a time switch exclusive. So I'm like, okay, but when they did show it, but it did have such a different theme. But I love the fact that this game seems like it's going to have a lot of, if it does ever happen. I mean, maybe it won't. Maybe things will fall apart, but I'm really excited about this. It was
nice.
It's
awesome.
fantastic. So that was my biggest surprise. My biggest disappointment, like I said, it was no Rocksteady to be seen. So by the time next time, unless they come out at PSX, it'll be almost 3 years since Arkham Knight came out. So what are they working on? That's what I'm really interested in. But I think of all the conferences, I think third party did a great job with their conferences. EA was EA. I know that. They had that weird YouTube. Did you see that YouTube guy they brought on stage?
Yeah, I think that it's been confirmed, but not obviously. People are making a bigger deal on the fact that he looked silly. But when the news comes out that the teleprompter wasn't really working for him.
Okay.
It's long forgotten. But people just think like, why do you bring YouTubers out there? They can't perform. But I mean, if you are told that your speech is all going to be there and then it starts to jump around and stuff, we've seen that happen with Michael Bay. I think it happened to him as well, where he just walked off, right? Like it happens whether you're a director of multi-million-dollar movies or if you're a YouTuber as well. So I cut him a little bit of slack, but I mean, I'm one in a trillion people who will do that for him. So I feel bad. I think my biggest disappointment might actually be that I feel weird even saying this a disappointment because we just get so much and like there's more to be happy about than we even have time with. But I would really like to one day find out what Amy Hennig is up to. Like I was sort of counting on that today, but also only when I want to know when it's right. So obviously it's not time yet, and they're probably still a ways away from being able to announce that. But I was kind of looking forward to that with the Star Wars game that she's working on.
Yeah, I'm assuming they don't want Battlefront 2 to be off focus, so I could see maybe once Battlefront's launched, maybe at PSX once again, they have a partnership, bring her out, talk about the next, because also episode 8 will be out, and Star Wars excitement will be big, and yeah, I can't wait for that game though. A narrative-driven Star Wars focused story.
We're gonna return to the golden age of Star Wars games all of a sudden. I think like Battlefront is just kicking things off, but yeah, Respawn is up to stuff as well, and yeah, this is awesome. Like, can't believe this is happening.
And you know, quite honestly, we could see all of those classic Star Wars games remade, brought back on HD. I mean, Sony kind of played around with it with Pod Racer and Bounty Hunter, and those are kind of fun. But yeah, we obviously want the big games, Rebel Assault.
Maybe you could play some of them on some of your old original Xbox games on your Xbox One now.
Oh my God, yes. What was that really Super Bomb Bad Racing?
Yeah.
Everyone wants that one. Yeah.
Exactly. Really, that'll be what they lead with. They have Crimson Skies, and then like when you go there, that's what'll really get their attention.
That's what we're lacking. So then we go into Xbox. Xbox was the first party to launch. They kicked it off on Sunday, which was a unique take, and it gave Sony plenty of time to come back, if they needed to. So it was an interesting idea to go so early. But Lisa, what did you think about Xbox?
Well, for one, I mean, why did they not call it Scorpio? I'm just curious if anybody has a hunch as to why that's the case. I think the name is kind of dumb. Am I like alone in that?
I'm calling it Xbox Onyx.
I know you are, but it's just like it's like the Department of Redundancy department, right?
It is. It's kind of a palindrome.
It's a dumb name.
The Department of Redundancy really department. Yes.
What did they end up saying the price was? Did I get that prediction right?
$499, Lisa.
Oh, damn it! I was off by $99.
You said $400. I said $449. Sean, you did not have a price point.
I feel like everybody was guessing price points.
Right. Yeah, no, I didn't get it right. I thought it was cool. It's just, I saw a really funny meme that made me laugh, and it was about, the Xbox One X, has 8,000 cores and it's liquid cooled and blah, blah, blah. And then someone was like, yeah, but you can throw your hat on a frog. Become a frog. And I was like, yep, that's pretty much how I feel. So that's my take. That's my hot take.
Boy. Yeah, and your predictions were, you said Project Scorpio would be $400, and Middle of Earth, Shadow of whatever.
Middle of Earth?
That's what Middle Earth, Shadow of whatever.
I thought you said I put Middle of Earth. No. I'm like, come on, I'm not that dumb.
No. Oh well. And
yes,
Sean,
Shadow of whatever. It's way more
Shadow
clear.
of whatever.
Well, do you remember when we were talking about it on the prediction podcast? I said Shadow of, and I couldn't remember what the hell it was called. So I'm like Shadow of whatever.
Yeah. Sean, you
said I was pretty much wrong. I guess the point.
Yeah. Quite honestly, Xbox was an interesting conference, needless to say.
It was. The second they said it was the Xbox One X, I was just like, what?
Yeah, I think the backwards compatibility for the original Xbox got a bigger applause.
Yeah, I wish the backwards compatibility thing was true of all consoles, right? So you
can
get rid of
the only one. Yeah, Xbox is the only one that really truly will go back all generations. Everybody else is kind of picking.
I wish everybody else would do that.
Yeah.
One X.
Yeah. Sean, you said Phil Spencer announces aggressive promotion in partnership with GameStop to encourage gamers to trade in Xbox One or PS4 for massive value towards Scorpio. It will be an offer nobody can refuse. It will melt the ice caps in the Arctic.
That didn't happen.
No, it did not happen. I think you'll get about
None of
$100 for your 1X.
The Arctic caps, the ice caps are still melting, however.
That's true.
That's true.
Polar
They
bears
couldn't
are
stop.
drowning. Penguins
That's right.
are starving.
Well, they're sun tanning. That's all right. They're still having a good time.
Yeah,
They can swim.
And you get $100 for your Xbox One S.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that that's still coming. It seemed like, I mean, it would be very strange, I think. And it was also sort of in reaction to or an expectation of a very high price point. So I guess that even now reading it back, and now they're on this side of E3, it seems like that would come across a little apologetic. I was more thinking about trying to get people to trade in their PS4s to cross over. Like this is really the Xbox One X is the new and exciting thing for them to sell people. It's funny how they're now sort of going back and we're hearing that they expect the One S to be their top seller, and I just don't know like what they've got in store to really turn the tide on the One S. It seemed like the Scorpio was going to be the thing to do it, and I thought that ahead of time that they would try to push this a little further. But a high price point is not going to. It's going to be way too hard, I think, for people to leave the ecosystems that they're established in to go spend $500 on a box, which breaks my heart because I love Xbox.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like Chevrolet. They create the Corvette, which they know only a small amount of buyers will potentially get. It's the halo that brings you into the dealership to buy the Impala, whatever, the lower brands. Makes total sense.
Yeah.
And Phil Spencer said more people will buy the 1S, but we already know with the PS4 Pro, only 1 out of 5 buyers are buying that. And this is now an extra $100 above that, and really with no killer app yet for it.
Yeah, well, I look at this as truly like another generation console. Like, I really think that this thing is capable of, like, the jump that we're seeing from Xbox One S to the X, I think is actually larger than what we saw from 360 to the One. And I don't really have any technical backup, but I honestly, like, when the Xbox One and the PS4 launched, I think a lot of us were going, what's the difference? Like, their graphics were great, but like they weren't like, holy crap. Like, it wasn't the same moment as going from PS2 to PS3. I feel. And I do think that when we start to see some of these games run on Xbox One X and getting closer to what mid to high end PCs are doing, people will start to like, oh, what's that? And I don't think that the One S or even just the One on day one did that. So they're in this weird stage where it's a huge leap in visual fidelity, but they can't call it another generation because that causes confusion. And I actually don't. I wonder why. Like, Todd, why do you think, like, is there anything that would really keep them from just saying this is the next Xbox? They could have left the name behind. They could have left PS4 behind. They could have really jumped ahead. I wonder why they felt sort of tied to the previous generation.
That's a good question. That's a good question because with the original Xbox, they jumped ship pretty early on that.
Right.
They weren't doing
just
anything.
Dictated.
Yeah.
Now we're next gen.
And that's what got them the leap and the head start on the next gen. They had exclusive games. They looked better than the PS2 at the time, and so they knew it was a year ahead before anything else launched. So
yeah,
I mean, it's kind of odd that they would do that. And right now, I think the biggest problem is people are saying, why would I spend $250 more on the Xbox to basically run the same games, but they just look prettier? And by the way, I probably don't have a 4K TV, so that's an extra $1,000. It's a big investment, and if you already own an Xbox One S, like I already do, I have a 4K HDR TV. My Xbox One S will up-res to 4K, and it has HDR. So I don't know if there's enough of a difference, unless my Xbox One starts falling apart or the games run at like 15 frames per second.
Right.
There's really
bragging, Todd.
Something that runs through my mind, like I have all the consoles. I have my PS4, my Switch, and my Xbox One, and I actually prefer the Xbox ecosystem. I think that I like having my external hard drive plugged into the back-facing USB. I think the Xbox Live Network is better. I see better performance side by side than my PS4. There's a number of reasons. I like the controller better, so I've always been a bit more of an Xbox fan. And so my multi-platform games I generally have on my Xbox because I've got a little bit more storage space over there and all the reasons that I talked about. But every now and then I'll play a game like Final Fantasy 15 and get that little bit of a stutter in the frame rate. And I'll go, is this better on the other thing? Mm-hmm. I'll start to feel like, maybe I should have got this for PlayStation 4 because I can. And I don't like that feeling. Like for me, even though I don't have a 4K TV and my system is bottlenecked by the by my home theater receiver, which is only capable of 1080p, I won't be really like to go to 4K for me is not only just the TV, it's that as well. So I'm so far away. And then Chelsea and I have matching TVs on the wall. So I can't just replace one of the TVs. First world problems, Todd. This is like the definition. This is the case study.
I will give you the pro tip, Sean. The new TVs, it's better just to run all the HDMIs. You probably get 4, I have 5. Run them through the TV. Just run a optical out from your TV to your receiver.
Yeah. That's what I do. Well, that's what I do on the one. So I have to, anyway, we can get into the blueprint of
you guys
all
are going
that.
to put me to sleep.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's a challenge, though, because, I mean, that is the big problem. That was my biggest problem with Microsoft right now. I felt like with Xbox 360, Gears of War, that was a game changer.
Yep.
And all of the new, and that's why I was more excited about Xbox One and their IPs than PS4, because I thought, oh my God, Quantum Break's going to be awesome. Dead Rising is going to look awesome. Rise, might be cool, looks beautiful. And they're going to get a Halo, we're going to get all this stuff. And quite honestly, nothing has really panned out. I think people are kind of tired of Halo, kind of a little tired and worn out with Gears. So at this point, and none of their, even Sunset Overdrive looks awesome, but nobody, swooned over it. There's just, I think, and then right now, Crackdown doesn't look that hot because of its graphic art style.
It looks better than I thought it would, but it's not it's not going to save the console.
No.
And I talk about this with Bobby about Nintendo all the time with the same thing. It nothing really stacks up with what Sony has, and we'll get to that, I'm sure. But I do feel like the upgrade for me is worth it. Like even on a 1080, that was going to be my point, was that even with my 1080p TV, I feel like the upgrade is worth it. I do want to I'm big on load times. I don't want to sit there and wait for minutes on end for load times. And if I know 100% that my Xbox is performing better than the system right next to it, that's where I want to be anyways. And with a strong trade-in program with GameStop or EB Games, I'm not that far off from trading up. I have no problem with it.
Yeah, and
I also predict a lot of comparison videos coming. I know Destiny. They started to hint today. I don't know if you guys saw this. They mentioned they sort of explained the 30 frames per second that's on PS4 Pro and on Xbox One X, and they said, look, Destiny 2 launches before the One X, so maybe we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Right now, we're just focused on getting the game out. I wouldn't be surprised if they hit a higher spec on that. And those side-by-side videos is stupid, and as much as I hate them because I can never see a difference, people seem to care about them, and yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it's funny when you watch 4K videos on YouTube and my monitor is only 1080p.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, sure, why not? So my predictions was I said Scorpio would be $449, but they'd have a deluxe version for $549, but it'd come with an SSD, which that I think is a problem still. With all this horsepower, your load times are not going to be that better because, quite honestly, your hard drives are still a bottleneck. So going SSD for an extra $100, there's some hybrid drives actually that they have like 64 gigabytes of memory plus a standard storage drive that you could actually get for your PS1. Throw it in. That's a big limiter. So I'm hoping they would have done that, or maybe they'll do that in the future. And potentially with a USB 3.0 connection, and you hook up an SSD with it externally, you could see improvements. So we'll see that. Yeah. And
do you think it would be separate, like the SSD would be just for one part, and then a lot of like a bigger hard drive separately? Because it'd be interesting to see them do it on a console, because it takes a lot of management on a PC side.
Potentially. I mean, we could see that. I mean, they're doing a lot of interesting things with with actually USB memory and offloading and making that your RAM. So there's ways around this they could do it. And quite honestly, with the Xbox One X having 12 gigabytes of RAM. I'm surprised they didn't do some offloading on that extra RAM, but oh well. We'll figure. We'll see. Quite honestly, I bet there's some more things that they can do with that box than they're going after now. We've talked about there's no first-person shooter right now that has actually hit 60 frames per second 4K on a console yet. Maybe that'll happen with Halo. We'll see. Yeah, and I was also
get Doom on that.
Yeah, and I was also surprised no new IP shown by Lionhead. So that's kind of sad that we really didn't get a forward look of what Microsoft has for us next, and they don't have another show like PSX or Directs like Nintendo does. So I don't know where they can actually showcase the next thing.
Didn't they close Lionhead?
No, Lionhead still exists. Peter Molyneux just exited, but
Okay.
we don't know what they're working on. Yeah,
Oh,
Not to be
gotcha.
confused with Lion-O.
that's true. Ho! Mark said Scorpiota loss, showing off games like Crackdown, a new Halo ODST style offshoot, and weird games like Cuphead, all with solid release dates this year. It's going to be tempting. Expect packed live plus Game Pass bundle, which we didn't get either. Which is
I
sad.
still expect that.
Yep.
I still see. I think Microsoft is going to be the one to be able to crack this too many subscriptions problem. I think that they're going to find a way to bundle it all together and make it make sense for people.
$100 a year, live plus Game Pass. That's an awesome deal for a family that may not have a lot of extra money for games. That's
Yep.
awesome. That could be a
Yeah,
game
man.
breaker. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Definitely.
So then we go to PlayStation. So I said with PlayStation the PS4. This is considering they were going to get to hear about the price and everything. I thought, well, you know what? They can react with a price drop on PS4 Pro to $300. PS4 goes to $199, and Medieval gets a remake. None of those things happened. Sony basically can keep their price solid and even can reduce it later if they want to. Wow, that was none of my things came through. Sorry, guys.
You missed the mark.
I did. Sean, you said Destiny 2 will have exclusive PSVR content. Maybe Sparrow Racing.
How cool would that be? You sit on your Sparrow in VR.
I
thought maybe.
Yeah. There hasn't been like a racing game in VR yet.
Which is insane to me because that's what everybody thinks first-person shooter, but I think like put me in a cockpit. You know what I mean? I just wanted to say cockpit.
Well, you did. Wait, but that makes me want to interject. Did you hear this thing about, not that it's really in the same realm, but that Mario Kart Arcade GP is Nintendo's first VR game in Japan?
What?
Yes.
You didn't hear this?
Yes.
No.
But it's for the HTC Vive or whatever the thing is
Vive.
called.
Oh,
Vive.
oh,
I always
oh,
say
yes,
Vive.
yes.
Vive.
I did hear about
Yes.
that. Yep.
So, not here,
That's so
but in
weird.
Japan. In Japan.
That's right.
So, yeah, I mean, if you've ever played the Mario Kart Arcade GP game, like at Dave & Buster's or a place like
Yep.
that. So, you know,
That is
to
awesome.
hit your point of racing in VR, there you go.
Well,
That
I
would-
think
that'd be
racing, we saw with the Scorpio, like you see racing games they really showcase new hardware very, very well. I think VR, that's a natural fit. I'm shocked that the PSVR doesn't really have really anything there. I was actually expecting in other podcasts, I was predicting Gran Turismo would get a VR something.
I thought Sport was supposed to have a VR component.
Well, and it didn't show up at that. They may have announced. I may have missed that, but it wasn't at the conference. And I just think that like they really need to spearhead that. It doesn't feel like they care about it. Like which makes me not
Battlefront?
care
Can we have
about it.
Battlefront in VR?
They did.
They did some VR missions right last year.
Yeah, that
Right.
was a space fighter mission.
Can I have the whole game? Can I actually just have Star Wars battle pods in my house? That would be cool.
That would drive you nuts.
Awesome. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, they did have that. The Sony did make that street luge game for VR. That was a
That is
long
so
time.
weird.
Yes.
Because everybody wants to luge, right?
That seems like something Nintendo would do if they had a virtual boy.
Right, because it's like Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games.
Yeah, exactly.
That's probably like a Wii Fit game, right? Where you're
There
going
is. You
side
can
to
luge.
side.
I've luged on the Wii.
Mhm.
I've
Bobsled.
luged. I've luged with the
Oh
best
my
of
goodness!
them.
Hold each
You're
other
at the
tight
body-
and bobsled.
I've luged.
Oh my goodness!
I don't even want to know how many times I've luged.
Mark said a new Tim Schafer game, which apparently that Ubits game or Ooblets, whatever it was called, is it is a Double Fine game. So it kind of announced, but
Oh,
not
no way.
really not showcased really. So apparently that game is uber cute and it's fun. It's kind of like a Viva Pinata game. Which hey, why not? Mark?
Did anybody think that game? How was it called? With the mouse.
Oh,
Moss?
Moss.
Did anybody think that didn't look so adorable?
Nobody didn't think that.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty
It
cute.
was the cutest little thing.
Oh, it was cute. Yeah, and I think you're just helping him.
I was doing the
kinda-
double negative. I was agreeing,
Yes.
but
Yes.
it was confusing.
Yeah,
I
thought
mean,
it
he's
was
a mouse with a sword. What could be wrong with that?
Yeah, and I thought it was like Redwall, or was going to be like an adaptation of that with like a mouse that fights battles and things. But I guess you're the guy in the background, kind of removing obstacles and things like that to help the mouse.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's super cute.
Yeah, and I've got to say, I was actually at the PlayStation Experience presentation. So theaters in the U.S. I'm not sure in Canada, Sean, if they did or not. Basically,
We don't have theaters here.
Oh, that's true. You guys have
Yeah.
drive-in theaters, or just you gather
They
on
watch
your TV.
no, they
Straight to
watch movies on the
VHS.
back of a moose.
Straight to
true.
VHS.
No, I thought you had beta. Betamax.
That's a common misconception.
Ah.
Canada was VHS.
Okay.
Sweden, beta.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
The superior format, as someone.
That's right. That's right.
True. Yes. So basically, Sony rented out
HD.
theaters, and you'd get tickets, and you'd show up, and you got to watch the presentation. And actually, because it took like 3 hours, and I'm like, why isn't this starting? Well, they actually did a lot of cool. It's almost like the opposite of Treehouse, where they actually had interviews with developers and previews of games beforehand, which was kind of fun. So a lot of those things that they showed beforehand actually weren't in their presentation. Like we got, a lot of cool ideas were pitched and announced that I thought were a lot of fun. So I give them kudos for doing that. Yeah, it was something different. So I really like that. But it was a great experience being with other 200 geeks, just having fun, watching it on screen. And apparently I thought our theater was screwed up because the audio apparently was screwed up in the stream for the Sony event at the beginning. So I'm like, what the heck? But they fixed it. So I'll give them credit for that. So Lisa, you said an interesting acronym, but I won't repeat that. But you obviously are impressed with VR.
IDGAF. Do you not know what that means?
I'm not going to know what it is for the younger audience.
Yeah, so we all know I don't care about VR.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting to me, but I find it to be like a novelty.
Yeah. Have you tried it yet?
No.
So I think
It's just
I've tried VR. It's definitely one of those things. Unless you try it, you won't understand it. And I'm not mansplaining. I'm just saying it's one of those things.
No,
where
I get
they have
that,
to
but
do
I
it.
can't imagine like sitting and playing for hours. It's
Exactly.
just not.
It's a tough.
Well, you would be
experience.
sitting anyway, but it's a novelty. Like, I mean, I think it's cool and fun, but like, I would want to go do it at a bar. I wouldn't want to like have it in my house. It's just my
amusement park.
opinion. Don't shoot me.
Oh no, I totally get it. I did a presentation. Well, I was at my company. They wanted to understand how marketing could work with VR. They put an Oculus, Revision 1 on my headset, on my head, and it was a weird, freaking experience. But I'm like, yeah, this would be hard to do for a prolonged experience.
Well, it was weird because you don't have any hair to insulate you.
Well, and I wear glasses, and Sean, you wear glasses. Wearing glasses over glasses, it's the worst.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Excuse me, I wear glasses. I just don't wear them in front of people. So when I go to like 3D movies and I have to wear them over my glasses, it's not fun.
It's the worst.
I hear you.
That's worst. But you said Last of Us 2 would have something, in Spider-Man. You got Spider-Man, Lisa.
I did. I got Spider-Man. It looked kind of fun, didn't it? The only thing I would say about that Spider-Man game, it gave me all kinds of vertigo.
Oh.
And like, I'm not afraid of heights, and I don't get like motion sick. But some of the camera angles they were showing, I was like, whoa.
Oh,
I don't know if I could play
no.
that for a really long time either. I think I'd be a little like, especially not, I don't know. I think I'd be a little woozy. Little woozy.
Gonna miss out.
Yep. So, what was your biggest surprise / disappointment for Sony?
I don't know.
My biggest surprise was that I didn't really get a big surprise.
Yeah,
I guess that's all, and that's a disappointment as well. I'm gonna answer two questions at once. It was just kind of like I pretty much knew exactly what I was gonna get out of that show.
Like none
So
of
it's
it
kind
was mind blowing. None of it rocked.
Yeah.
I think for me, the biggest surprise was that hopefully I'll finally be able to play a version of Shadow of Colossus that I enjoy. Because
Yeah.
because I could not stand the controls of Shadow of the Colossus in PS2.
Yeah.
So if they can fix the camera and the controls and make it more enjoyable, that game gets kudos. It's one of the best that Sony ever made for the PS2. But I just couldn't get past the bad controls and feeling like I'm drunk and I can't actually do what I want to do. So I think that was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, Sony basically kept to their guns. They basically said, yeah, we showed you stuff before, but that's not coming. And beyond that, they kind of just said, yep, Knack 2's coming. Ni no Kuni's coming. They do have a lot of games coming this fall, but not.
Oh, I was
necessarily-
actually kind of excited about Ni no Kuni.
It's
'Cause
cute.
Well, no, I mean, I don't know if you played the first one, but it's sort of like playing a game version of like a Studio Ghibli movie.
It's a partnership with them, actually.
Right, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's like, if you're into those movies, it's sort of the experience of being in one. Like, I mean, the cutscenes are like watching a Ghibli movie, but my son really enjoyed it, and so he's excited for number 2. Number 2. He's excited for number 2.
As most children are, boys especially.
Ugh, especially boys.
Yes,
Yeah,
boys
everything's
love
farts
poop.
and
Good times.
balls.
That's when you can rate your favorite podcast, everybody.
That's true. That's true. But I think with Sony, I've kind of come to terms with this. I was really excited with PS4 because I'm like, we're going to get all these great first-party games, and they've been trickled at best, which is kind of sad. But I realize they're in the same position that 360 was last gen. They don't have to produce a lot of first-party games. They can do a few a year, be perfectly fine because they have so much content. Just releasing more first-party just would kind of mix up their stew as they have, because they have all of this third-party content, indie content. If you even go to the PlayStation blog every week, there's like 18 games announced every week coming out.
Right.
They have exclusive deals with the biggest games, and they do. And their strategy has been, we're going to release games in the spring, and that's going to be our big time to announce. And they had Neo, they had Nier Automata, they had Resident Evil 7 exclusive VR. They had
Persona 5.
Persona 5, Horizon Zero Dawn. That is all in the spring. So
Yeah.
and then they basically say, guess what? Call of Duty is going to launch. We're going to get all these big games, and potentially GTA 5 or Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to launch.
It's amazing that it's taken this long into video games for anybody to figure out this strategy, because as you say that sounds bulletproof. And nobody's really been able to line that up until now, and it feels unstoppable. I don't know how anybody in the other two camps go to work and go like, "We got this," because like, what do you even do? How do you even come up against that at all?
Yeah,
Right.
You don't.
Yeah, and Nintendo used to do the same thing. They used to load like November and December. Just they'd load that, and it's like, well, guys, what about the July, through the fall? And they're finally coming around to that. Let's put a game out a month, because gamers will buy a game anytime, and they don't want to be, have 18 games in their backlog in November.
Right.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. But yeah, I don't think Sony's surprised. I mean, there's going to be a lot of games coming out, but yeah, no big surprises. Really, no surprises. But 18, hopefully that is when these games come out. 2018 will hopefully be their crowning achievement, because they've got a fantastic 2018 if it happens.
I think Days Gone looks good too. Not a huge, I wouldn't say it's like a big surprise for me, but I thought it looked better than I expected it to, because I think a lot of people are writing that off, and I expect it to be a big surprise actually when it comes out.
Yeah, I think with that game, what really surprised me, they're using zombies as almost like a force of nature rather than individual threats. So they're saying, we can unleash this herd and have the environment, and the zombies come in and disrupt, and you can manipulate them. Kind of like how Zelda manipulates, the Breath of the Wild. You manipulate the environment and the physics. They're saying, this is what you're manipulating to get what you want to do. Your crowd control, basically, which is kind of cool. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, I actually, I don't know why people are kind of soft on this. I feel like every single one of, and maybe I'm just not thinking of it, but every single one of Sony's first parties are just killing it. They all have enough time to polish these games to exactly what they want them to be. I'm not sure what indication there is that one of their first parties is going to drop the ball. Like, the expectation on it is the same with Nintendo, that every first party game is going to be, 5 stars. It's not that with Microsoft. It's a notable difference that, that Microsoft Game Studios doesn't hold nearly the cachet that the Sony Interactive Entertainment does now.
Yeah. And quite honestly, Sucker Punch was my biggest disappointment. They have announced a new game, so obviously we know that'll probably be PSX. They'll say something, and that game won't be out till 2019. So,
yeah, it'll be interesting what they're up to.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. Then we get to the final conference.
Yay!
Nintendo! Yes.
It's a me!
Yes. And by the way, listeners, Bobby Paul's lost his internet connection. I can totally relate to him. I had a big interview with a author this weekend. I lost my internet connection. Had to connect with Skype through my Wi-Fi hotspot on my phone.
Yeah.
Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible, but it worked.
Bad
Awesome.
timing. Really bad timing.
Yes. But we get to Nintendo, and so quickly I will go through the predictions. I said there'd be an HD version of Eternal Darkness, but then I did say that on Metroid we'd get a Switch by either Yacht Club or Drinkbox. So we did get a Metroid, but I was wrong on either of the counts, and we actually don't know still who's actually developing this game, except it's a new team on the 3DS. So very exciting for that. And then a new team that's not retro. doing Metroid Prime 4. So
Right.
I did get that there was a Metroid announced, so I'll take credit for that at least. Why not? And I'm wearing my
points.
Metroid shirt. Yeah. So Sean, you said no Metroid, so you lose. And you said basically you were Mr. No.
Man, that is
no,
a double fail.
Yeah, no Virtual Console, no Animal Crossing, no anything. And actually, you were really wrong.
Yeah, I was.
Super wrong.
I tried to like put all my eggs into different baskets because on other predictions I was doing like there's gonna be a Mario Kart maker. I was totally crazy, like wishful thinking. And now it was after I talking to Zach Erickson from Nintendo Dads. He said manage your expectations so that you'll walk away satisfied. So that's what I was trying to do here. I was trying to set the bar extremely low, and we got Metroid sorta. So I guess that's good.
We got a logo.
I got a logo.
Logo.
A working title. Did you guys notice that? Have you seen any of the other stuff? It's a working title, which I think they're just going to add a colon something. So let's tack a colon onto the end of it.
Oh my God, yes.
Everybody loves a good colon.
And it is funny because there's always this pushback
On the back
that
end.
Sony always shows something and they don't release it for several years. But when Nintendo does it, we're just relieved that they're actually finally working on a game, and they haven't abandoned it to make more, Animal Crossing side stories and things like that. So we're happy.
You know what? If all anybody does, the problem with Sony is that they show more than just a logo. And I think that even the way that they did it with Pokemon was really quite good as well. It gave the indication that this thing is very, very far away. It's just like shut up and stop asking us about it. You need to like show an early look because as we've seen with like Watch Dogs, the games don't really look like that in the end anyway. So you're just setting up for disappointment. Just say it's in the pipeline. Now go away and play something else.
Yeah, something tells me that game Anthem, which I adore and I'm excited about that, but that game is probably going to look a lot different and not meet expectations. People are going to show that clip and go say, "Hey, look at this." Versus what they actually
And then,
released. Which is sad.
In real world, it's not going to end up like that.
No. Mark said he expects Animal Crossing. It'll time into the upcoming mobile game, which may never come out at this point, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They keep pushing that thing out. GameCube Virtual Console Brawl is a launch game to tide people over. Don't expect that until 2018. For bonus points, they do announce Metroid. It's going to come in like an after credits thing, same as it did with Snake and Brawl back in the day. So kind of right. They showed basically a logo.
Right.
So, why not? Mark, good on you. And Lisa, you said Metroid or Pokemon Stars, so we'll give you the Metroid, not the Pokemon Stars, even though they said they're making
I'll take joint
game.
credit for Metroid like you did.
And he said a core Pokemon game. I'm assuming we're talking like what's on the 3DS, not like a Pokemon Stadium or Pokemon Snap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I said Pokemon Stars because, the rumor is it'll be an amalgam of Sun and Moon, but I was kind of bummed. I mean, I'm not like huge into Pokemon. I can't talk.
Pokemon.
But I thought for sure, or I thought, we would be getting. I thought that there was a chance we'd be getting Super Smash Brothers in the same vein as we got Mario Kart ported to the Switch with the DLC. But we didn't get that either. So.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that would be your biggest disappointment. No Smash.
I don't know that I would say it's my biggest disappointment. I do love that game, and I would have liked to have seen that. My son, of course, is now saying he wants them to come out with Super Smash and put the at least one of the ARMS characters in it, which I think would give that person a majorly unfair advantage.
They have the reach. They have the reach. Yeah. Could be.
But I don't know. Like, I don't know. It wasn't my biggest disappointment, but I am kind of surprised that they haven't done anything with that for the Switch yet. I assume they're going to. But, yeah, I mean, I got the Metroid part right. Everything else I didn't. And unfortunately for everybody who watched Nintendo, it was the Mario Odyssey show, right? I mean, that's really what it was.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you can be a frog!
I mean, and I keep watching. I mean, I honestly, like Sean, I think you talked about this earlier. I mean, you mentioned that you kind of get overwhelmed with all of the information, and there's so much at one time. You don't get really to absorb it and kind of see everything coming out.
No, you end up focusing on one thing. That's why I said it was the Odyssey show, like, because that's the thing that you took away. That's the memorable piece.
Exactly. So I mean, and it's funny because they buried the actual Metroid game that's coming out this fall in the treehouse. Which I'm excited for that game because, quite honestly, I've said I'll take a 2D Mario or Metroid game. I'll take one. and they're
But look
delivering.
at the difference. Do you think that the reception for the 2D Metroid on 3DS would have been as high if they led with that? Like if that was in the E3 conference and then later they said, by the way, Metroid 4 is in the works, or
No, they
just
had
give
to
you
do
a
them
logo,
together. I
right? Like,
totally
isn't that
see your point.
amazing how important that is?
Yeah, it's weird.
Because people would see that, the 2D Metroid, like, they're like, it's better than Federation Force, but this still isn't what we're asking for. But instead, you give them the logo, and then they show the game, and people are pumped about the game. And they
Well,
definitely
but then
wouldn't
you
be if
feel
they
like
did the other way
the
around.
2D version is like, it's them throwing us a bone, right?
Yes. Yeah, I am amazed. Like, this is why I like this industry so much, is because it's like this giant human experiment just to see what happens when a company does a thing, and we just see like all of us rats just running around going like, what
Where's the
are we
cheese?
doing?
Where's the cheese?
Yes.
Right.
It's amazing. The order of the messaging, to me it's fascinating. It's a giant reason I like commenting on this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the Yoshi game they showed? Totally reminded me. The gameplay reminded me of Little Big Planet.
Oh yeah, a Little Big Planet.
Yeah,
by
it's
the
like
way.
it's almost like
Yeah.
Paper Mario aesthetic, right? And you can go
Yep.
behind.
No.
They're talking about going, yeah, kind of Paper Mario aesthetic. They're kind of like
No, I thought it was Little Big Planet. Like
Oh, really?
especially the way that
handmade.
everything. Yeah, handmade, and the way it all felt, and the perspective of it. I don't know if you've played Little Big Planet a lot, but
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of the Fart Rocket mod on Little Big Planet.
oh,
Have
for
you guys
sure.
played it? Yeah,
Yeah,
Have
my
a
kids.
rocket that farts.
I mean, how can you not love being called a character called Sackboy?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, what was it? What was it? The Yoshi Epic, or so it was. What was the Yoshi version of Epic Yarn? It was Yoshi
Woolly World.
World.
Woolly World. Yeah, so they said that crafty version. Yeah, so they're kind of playing with that still. That's fine. I mean,
Mhm.
it's not a direct port from the 3DS or from the Wii U, and that was now in 3DS. So I think they did some really unique things with those. We got a Kirby coming, and I think that's the key message. I did not expect them to talk about any games coming in 2018. I'm glad they did, because quite
Yeah.
honestly, you got to tell people, hey, there's going to be more games coming than beyond just 2017. And we know they have directs, but quite honestly, the broad public does not really pay attention to Nintendo Directs. They just don't. Good Morning America is not talking about a Nintendo Direct. They're talking about E3 because there's I guess bulk around the video game news. So I'm glad they did that. It made a lot of sense.
High in fiber.
Yes, exactly. You gotta have bulk. You gotta hydrate, or you won't be regular. I love that. My biggest disappointment, and I still kind of feel this with the Nintendo, that there's hesitancy with them to really talk about what they're going to do with their overall infrastructure. I know this maybe this direct wasn't the right time to do it, but we've got Splatoon 2 coming out in about a month, and we have this online infrastructure that I don't know when they're going to talk about. They're going to have another direct in 2 weeks to talk about how you're going to talk with your friends, with your
Squid
chatting,
dongle.
with
Squid
the
dongle.
And even Reggie talked about. They said we have one partner who's showing how they're going to do this. When are they going to do this, Sean? I mean, because this game, it's not like, are they going to do a direct in 2 weeks?
They might
It's
actually.
not making me feel super confident, that's for sure.
I'm on both sides of this too, because I definitely do worry about the online infrastructure on Nintendo. But at the same time, like, it is kind of nice that I just don't even have to worry about any of that stuff. It's when I play Mario Kart, it works, and like even when I think the best example of why we shouldn't be worried about it is when I've been playing like The Division with Bobby on PS4, or when I play some games on Xbox with David Moore and Johnny Casino from Forget Being Cool. We jump on a Skype call anyways. Like, I actually enjoy seeing, like, I would do this, what we're doing right now, while playing games. I think that's way better. And so, like, when I jump down to a party chat on a PlayStation 4, I'm like, this actually isn't as good. So it'd be interesting to see if Nintendo comes up with a way to integrate video chat in there with their smartphone
So
app.
how do you do that? You got to hold your... That's my biggest problem. I'm like, do you have an extra hand that holds up the phone so you can see your face?
They're going to give you a squid tentacle to go with your squid dongle.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, unless they have
Hangs from the ceiling.
Unless they make like a weird adapter that holds your phone on your, Joy-Cons or whatever.
Yeah,
your
that'd be
phone's
funny.
going to be on the
God,
floor
that
or
would
in
be
your pocket.
irritating.
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah,
weird
that's a
thing.
good point.
Yeah, it's such an odd thing, and I've said this to Lisa. Lisa's pro device of everything, but my son's 11 years old. I'm not giving him a phone to talk to his friends. I'm not giving him a tablet. Nintendo
I
is
am
a
not
younger
pro device. My
yeah.
kids are just spoiled.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So Sean, if Nintendo is a
That's a good
younger
point.
focused audience, are they basically saying parents give your kid a phone, or are they expecting every even parents
Well,
with a
actually,
lower
it
budget?
sort of proves the point of the family-friendly thing, where they're kind of assuming that kids won't have that device, so I guess they can't voice chat. So it keeps them away from the thing they didn't want to participate in anyways.
That could be strategy too.
I would
totally
just like
agree.
my kids
There's
not to
no
voice
way
chat
that's
at
giving
all.
them way too much credit. There's no way.
I know. Yeah.
Let's just be clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was worried about it for a very, very long time, and I don't know if they ever do it that I'll feel like, oh, now my Switch has like more value. I feel like I'm pretty happy with my Switch. I still feel like I spent a boatload of money on it. I still feel like the games cost way too much. I still feel like they don't really do sales for digital games as well as the other two systems. Like there's a lot of problems. We could talk about this forever.
Oh, sure.
But at the end of the day, I really enjoy playing this stupid thing.
Yep.
And I love having console-ish games on the go because I could take the bus every day. I was playing ARMS today. I was super annoying, getting the the fury of wherever you get to rapid punch, and I'm realizing how loud the clicking of the buttons are.
Yeah.
Whatever, it's good times.
Yeah. And I think the biggest surprise, obviously, we all probably feel this way, was all of the extra things that Mario can do in Odyssey that we didn't know.
Oh, my biggest surprise was Rocket League.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm surprised by that too, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, if you haven't played, you
son who
absolutely
went
need to.
Crazy about that.
Oh, my son's awesome at Rocket League. I got it for free on PS Plus, and I'm horrible at it, but my son's a beast at it, and he's awesome.
But how cool would it be if you could recreate the Wii U experience, right? Where you're playing Rocket League on except PlayStation isn't playing nice. You got to get it on Xbox.
Yeah.
You can do cross-platform. So you got one person on the TV and the other person next to you is on the couch playing with the Wii U gamepad almost. You could just go back to old times.
Yeah, it's really. I'm glad they're
Rocket
doing that.
League is amazing. Yeah, that's a
Nintendo's
great game.
finally figured out that you can't go it alone. You got to filter in the games to pad between the releases, and I'm glad they're doing that. And it's a perfect fit for it.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a really amazing. I was surprised to see it happen mainly because it's Nintendo, but I think the guys at Psyonix are eager to get that game on as many platforms as freaking possible.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So they were ready.
Yeah, and Jeremy Dunham, he's like the community manager. He was actually a host on podcast Beyond back in the day, and he understands it, and I think that's great to bring in all the audiences. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they didn't have to convince them.
Exactly. Hey, guys.
Like they do with a lot of other developers.
Can you give me 1 second? I'll be back in a second. I got to check on something really quick. Hold on.
He's got to go see a man about a mule.
Why do I feel like this was either planned? I don't know. I don't know what to believe right now.
He's probably peeing or Logan's breaking something.
I'm holding it. Like, look at this thing. This isn't just like...
Can I tell you something? I don't think I've been on this show from, I think, episode 98 till now, because obviously I'm late to this party. I don't think I've ever once, when we've recorded, taken a pee break. Charlie will go like 4 or 5 times in one recording session.
That's so embarrassing.
That's why I call him the pregnant lady, because he pees like a pregnant woman.
Which is amazing because even when my wife was pregnant, she's still like I go pee way more than her. She's like a freaking camel. It's crazy.
Yeah, which is funny because usually after you have a baby, your bladder takes a beating.
I don't know what she embarrasses me on trips because I'll have to I'm trying to stay hydrated because everywhere else.
Peeing.
Yeah, peeing is.
Why do you think I had to do that?
I don't know, because somebody had to break, and it's never me. I said I've been on the show now since episode 98 or whatever.
Yep.
Have I ever taken a pee break?
Nope. No, women are like camels. Not in
That's what I
sense.
said.
Yes, my wife can hold water for days.
It's creepy.
Yep,
You'll
that's the
listen
way it
back to the
works.
tape, and you'll hear that we
I'm drinking
said
beer.
literally the same thing.
Exactly. Oh, okay. Let's see. I'll bring us back in.
And then we have Charlie, who pees every 5 seconds.
Oh my goodness, yes, we call him a grandma bladder, or pregnant woman bladder.
Pregnant lady.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, any parting thoughts about Nintendo before we wrap this puppy up?
I think it's amazing.
I want
I want Odyssey too, and it's great that people seem to be happy with the fact that they look towards the next few months of Nintendo games and games coming out on the Switch, and people are generally happy with the one game per month sort of trickle that we've got going on. I feel like we've had that before and it didn't seem to hit as well, but for some reason it's just like, yep, we've got ARMS in June, we'll have Splatoon in July, we've got Rabbids in August, we've got I don't even know what's in September. I feel like something big, but Mario Odyssey in October, Xenoblade sometime in holiday. So Switch is looking really good, and honestly, like that matches with my lifestyle really well. If I have one game a month, that's probably more than I can afford anyways,
And quite
or
honestly,
even have time for.
and Nintendo is kind of my third console, which works really well for me because I have Splatoon 2, which my son's really excited about. Perfect. I'll get that for him, or we're going to go halvesies on that. Odyssey's coming up. And then beyond that, I really don't need to buy. I mean, maybe X, maybe Xenoblade Chronicles X, maybe that's, or 2, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Maybe that comes out, but quite honestly...
It's called Scorpio.
Yeah, Scorpio, sure. That works because
Somebody else takes a name.
I will be playing a ton of third party, and I'll play that on PS4. So the Switch is there when I have to share my consoles with my son. This works out perfectly for me.
Yeah.
So that wraps up the Thunderdome. Bobby, sorry you couldn't. Your internet did not support your additional thoughts and intuition about E3, but we love you, buddy. But that takes us out. And Sean, where can we find you, buddy?
In Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. That's if you wander through the woods of Canada, you can find me here. Yes.
Next to the moose.
Yep.
Covered in maple syrup.
Yep.
Poutine. Poutine grows on trees.
Can I ask you guys a question? Like, this is a serious question.
Yes.
Why is poutine Canadian? Like, why don't you guys just take it? Like, you know it's not complicated. It's fries, cheese, and gravy.
All
and
the
it's
freaking
amazing.
rage here, though. Every
just have it.
restaurant has poutine now.
Good. That's something we should
And they get
share
all
with the
crazy
world.
with it around me. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, like I had
Our McDonald's
poutine
has
with I had poutine with like brisket and like all kinds of weird stuff happening.
It's so good. But I don't think this
So
answers your
good.
question at all.
No.
I don't like ordering it though. It sounds like a dirty word.
The poutine. Yes.
Poutine.
The poutine.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Pootie tang.
Poutine.
Yes, the pootie
Poutine,
tang. Give me
like-
the pootie tang.
It just
Yeah,
sounds like I'd
it
like
looks-
some poutine. Sounds dirty.
It
It's
looks
like-
only slightly better on the way in.
Yeah, it's fancy Coney Island, right?
That's right.
Oh well, Sean.
But you can find me on
Friend
Twitter
Canadian.
You can find me on Twitter at Sean Capri. It's Sean like Connery Capri, like the pants. I do a podcast with Bobby Pauls called If We Ran Nintendo. It's on iTunes and hosted by the Dayspace network of podcasts. And I also do a show called We the Gamercast that Todd and I were going to do at some point when we eventually finish reading Console Wars. But I got it on Kindle, and I didn't realize that sucker was like 9,000 pages. Like the phone books are shorter than this stupid thing.
It's
so I'm still
ridiculous.
working on it, buddy. I feel like we could probably have a chat sooner. We probably should, otherwise, like the internet's going to be over by the time we end up finishing that book.
Oh my god! I hope the movie doesn't come out first.
Yeah, that might be what happens. That would help us, I think.
Oh, it probably would.
We'll talk about the movie instead. But yeah, man, thank you so much for having me on, and it's fun to reflect on E3. I feel like it's sort of been. We did a bunch of episodes earlier this week, and it was in the thick of it. This is kind of nice to look back on last week and just a little. It feels a little better now. It really does. E3 was good this year. Don't let the internet tell you otherwise.
No, and it was fun, and I do get riled up. I sometimes am the Nintendo, but I like them a lot, but sometimes they defy logic in a certain sense.
Of course they do.
Yeah,
Yes.
just a little bit.
And Lisa calls out my grumpiness when I have it, so I appreciate that.
Just because it's fun,
Yeah,
and because you hate anything joyful.
I do. It's my
Mhm.
it's where
Clearly.
my heart lies. Yes, my heart is black and full of goo. Oh well.
That's
You're like the Grinch.
Yes. So Lisa, where can we find you?
Oh, you can generally find me complaining that I'm exhausted because I work too much, and I have two very handful sons who are the loves of my life. Man, are they giving me gray hair. You can find me on Twitter. I'm at Lysa with one Y because my name is in fact spelled with a Y. You can find me in the Secret Friends Unite Facebook group, where I'm generally trying to get people to behave and get along and stop arguing about inconsequential things. And other than that, I'm over here in the Mitten State of Michigan, somewhat near Canada, but we are devoid of any moose.
Correct.
Although, one of my
They
neighbors
don't-
just said they
they're not
saw a
allowed to cross the
cougar.
border.
Pardon me?
They're not allowed to cross the border. The
That's not
moose
true.
know to stay up here.
I'm going to Toronto in the fall.
It's not true. Of course it's not. You should stay.
I would. I'm
She
very
might.
tempted.
She might.
There you go. It's nice up here, you guys.
Yeah.
Our money is hilarious.
Sean, I'm in.
Is that the whole list?
That's it.
The money, just the money.
That's all.
Come for the money. Yeah, I'm actually in
Yeah.
Canada, South Minnesota.
Stay for the poutine.
We're actually north of some places in Canada, which is kind of scary.
Oh,
So
that's
are
fun.
we.
That's true. Yeah. And Lisa, they said that you said they saw a cougar. I think they maybe just saw you.
No, I thought that too, and I was really
Oh.
excited, but it turns out they really think they saw a cougar.
Oh well.
It wasn't me.
For me, I'm at Deoxtra if you want to follow me specifically, but I primarily am at Secret Friends U on Twitter. Our podcast is on Podomatic. We also are a Facebook group that is a smaller entity for being crazy, but we also have a podcast page, Secret Friends Unite Podcast on Facebook. Follow us, have fun. I do want to take a shout out. I just did a podcast interview with my favorite author of all time, Raymond E. Feast. Best Times, New York Times best-selling author of the fantasy series Rift War Saga. It was a lot of fun. If you want to learn about, hear about an author and his trials and travails of getting published, check that out. But as always, be the hero, not the villain.
Be the villain, because it's more fun.
Be the
Sean?
hero until you die the villain. I can't remember.
No,
Eat
Sean,
the poutine. Eat the poutine.
Be the poutine. Be the
Be
poutine.
the poutine. Be the poutine.
I'm surprised you didn't say your bye-bye, Sean.
Bye.
There you go.